subject of the show, again, I mentioned, is the power of vision. The Torah tells us in Sefer Bamidbar, Parashat Shelach, chapter 15, verse 39. Velo taturu acharei einechem. That means that you should not explore with your eyes. What the Torah tried to tell us? Hazal explained, Velo taturu, taturu, that you should not explore. Hazal explained, Milshon, lo tiye tayar. Tayar is a tourist. That means that your eyes should not explore like a tourist. What does it mean? When a person comes to a different country, a different place, as a tourist, he doesn't stop exploring. That means he doesn't stop looking at things. All the time, he's looking at certain things. Not only that, he tries to look as much as he can. He tries to explore, to see as much that he have a chance, and as much that he can explore. You follow, Lionel? Yeah. Okay. So why did Hazal here say that you should not explore like a tourist? So Hazal explained that it's come to tell us that that's negative command that we have, velo taturu, that you should not explore with your eyes, not to look at things that what a man desire. What does it mean? That a person should keep control of his eyes. Midvar erva. Erva. Hazal, we all know what he's talking about. Hazal explained to us that the person, not a man, not allowed to look at woman, even if she's married or she's not married. I had many people say, she's not married. What difference does it make? I'm allowed to look. So Hazal come and given us a negative command to look at women. That's one idea. We'll see that it's not the only idea because we're going to develop it. But we have to understand why Hazal took the Torah, the written Torah, and said that we're not allowed to look. So to understand that, we have to go to the Gemara. The Gemara in Masechet Nedarim, page 20, folio 1. Listen to what Hazal telling us. Why are we not allowed to look at women? Hazal say, Kol hamistakel benashim, sofo ba lidei avera. I'm going to translate. Hazal tell us, when a man looking at woman, Rabotai, when I say man, that means exploring. That means he try to explore the woman. Ba lidei avera, in the end, he will do a sin. That means he will do avera. Sin is avera. That when a man looking at other women, and we all men here in the show, we all understand, we all have a black box. That's the Yetzer Hara. The Torah come and tell us, don't explore. Hazal explained that when you exploring such a look at woman, in the end, from that thought, will lead you to do avera. So that's one opinion. Let's carry on and see why we're not allowed to look at things. And which way we're not allowed to look. Now we're going to move to the second part of the show. That the second part of the show speak, I'm sure that many of you hear about the evil eye. Everyone hear about it? Everyone understand? Ain hara? Yeah. Where is the source for it?
I don't understand.
I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to the evil eye. I didn't explain, but I'm going to get there. What you didn't understand, Menachem?
I don't understand what it is actually, the evil eye.
Okay, I will explain. I will explain that. It's not part of the show, but I will explain. The Gemara in Masechet Baba Metzia. Are you writing it? Because you're going to forget. Write it because you're going to look there. I want you to go there. And then that will explain to you. Baba Metzia, page 107, folio 1. Hazal tell us. אסור לו לאדם שיעמוד על שדה חברו בשעה שעומדת בקומתה. Hazal given us a negative command that you're not allowed to look at your fellow friends field when the wheat is ready to be harvested. Everyone understand that so far? No. Why? Why not? That's what you're asking. Why not? Why not to look? When the wheat is ready, Hazal tell us, Rabotai, it's look beautiful, the field. Did you see a field that's ready to be harvested, Brian? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It looks beautiful. You see all the wheats growing up. They're looking big. You're ready to harvest. Hazal tell us, don't look at that field. You know why, Colin? That you're not going to put ayn hara. That don't put the evil eye on that field. That means that with your look, in your power of your vision, we'll see now when I'm going to get to it, that there is a radiation. And I'm going to bring a study that done in Russia, in the Soviet Union, when it was communism. And Hazal tell us something very interesting. When I focus on that, that will help you to understand. That when you look at things in a certain way, you can cause the evil eyes. Not only if you hate the person, also if you love him.
When you look at the glasses or somebody can break and break.
Yeah. There is a power that in our eyes that we can cause negativity or positive. That means that there is radiation that's coming out of the eyes. And later study everyone proved that today, when you look at a person, later studies show, if you see a person that you hate, if you look at it with a special ultraviolet, you can see that there is a hate in your eyes. And if you love a person, you can see it also. Not only that, Hazal come and tell us very interesting thing. That in the power of our vision, we can cause harm and we can cause good. Depends which way we want to look. Which way we want to explore. And how do you want to explore? I mean, I'm not saying tomorrow we're going to walk like this in the street, not looking at women, not greeting anyone. The Torah doesn't tell us that. The Torah specifically says don't explore. There is a difference. That means that we should not explore and look at other women with a black box. And everyone understand what we're talking here. If you don't understand, I will develop that. I don't want to develop that because we all understand what we're talking. Does everyone understand? Good. So we're not allowed to explore with our eyes. Not only that, Hazal tell us that when a person suddenly he was a normal guy, didn't have a lot of money, and suddenly he have a lot of money. Made money. All kosher, 100%. Not to try to expose the money that he have in one shot. Why? Because he can cause himself the evil eye. Because the way that people say, oh, suddenly you have money, look at the car that he's driving, the clothes that he's wearing, and etc. Step by step. But Hazal also come and tell us something very interesting in Masechet Psahim. Hazal tell us in Masechet Psahim, page 110, folio 1. Tell us something very interesting. Call the kapid. That every person that make a big thing, make a big fuss from the evil eyes, kapid bade. That means that the evil eyes will work on him. But the called man the lo kapid, a person that doesn't make a big fuss from the evil eye, I mean he does be careful, does stay cautious. Lo kapid bade. That means the evil eye doesn't work on it. So if we take what Hazal tell us in Masechet Psahim, let's try to develop it a bit. That means when a person make a big fuss from the evil eye, immediately that he make a big fuss, already it can catch him. But if he doesn't make a big fuss of the evil eye, it doesn't work on him so quickly. Not that it not exists, doesn't work on him. So we see that there is two kind of things that Hazal tell us not to look. One is the negativity, and one is to explore. Not only that, let's see In latest study that was couple years back, when it was the Soviet Union, when it was communism, they done a study. It's not a nice study, but they done it, unfortunately. They put a man in jail, and they starve him for a couple of days. But what they done, those evil Russians, they put outside his cell a loaf of bread. And the man was looking at that loaf of bread. Can you imagine? You're starving, and you can't reach to it. Lo aleinu, lo ala af echad me'am Yisrael. They took that loaf of bread after a few days. And they checked it up. You know what they found, Rabotai? They found that inside that bread, they find toxic. Toxic. Poison. That the bread, from the vision that the prisoner looking, trying to eat from hunger, becomes suddenly part of it was toxic. That means that there is radiation in the eyes. When I saw that, I couldn't believe. How can it be? Okay.
How can it be? But it's preposterous. It's not a study to have one person done in communist Russia. It's not called a study. If it was true, we would all know about it. It would be in the latest journal, medical journal.
Okay. Okay.
I believe in it at all.
Okay. Okay. So what you're saying, it sounds to you far-fetched. Nachon Menachem? Okay. So now we're going to have to prove it to you. Because data brought the study, the scientists done.
It's not called a study. One person in science. It's not called a study.
Okay. So if you're not calling it. But now we're going to prove it. We all hear about the Charmil. Charmil mentioned the first time, the name, not first time, sorry, wrong. I will take my words back. Charmil mentioned in Divrei Yamim, the book of Divrei Yamim 2, in chapter 2, verse 6, when it's mentioned there, you know what Rashi say, what it means v'charmil? Tola'at hashani. Did you hear about Tola'at hashani? No? Now I'm going to remind you. Tola'at hashani, it was the worm. Remember the worm that the Torah mentioned? You remember the Kohen Gadol that wear the Hoshen, the Avnei Hoshen, the breastplate, with the name of the 12 tribes? How did they manage to engrave it? How did they manage to cut it? You know how they cut it? Menachem? With a little worm that have a laser eye. We didn't finish. Now we're going to get to it. Shlomo HaMelech. Everyone heard about Shlomo HaMelech, nachon? Shlomo HaMelech built Bet HaMikdash. You know that they was not allowed to use, when you build Bet HaMikdash, to use metal or steel. You know that. So you're all going to ask, can't be. How did they build? How did they chop those big stones?
With the laser, no?
Exactly, with the laser. You know what was the laser? Tola'at hashani. How did they done it? Hazal explained. Did you been in a kotel? All of you. You saw those big rocks? It's far-fetched, huh? How did they cut it? Hazal explained. They used to draw a line. They used to hold the Tola'at hashani in a special angle. And the Tola'at hashani most probably have a special kind of a vision or laser that's coming through, and used to cut it, split it to a half. That's how they built Bet HaMikdash. Now you're going to ask me immediately, why not to use steel in Bet HaMikdash or metal? Hazal explained, Barzel is a steel, metal, Mekatzer Yamav Shel Adam. That means that with steel you make weapon. Nachon? Klei zayin. And that's making the human life shorten. That means that it's shortened the human being's life, make it shorter. Why? Because we make weapon from it. And Bet HaMikdash, that we used to get life from it. מאריך ימיו של האדם. Therefore, it was forbidden to use anything with steel. So what did they use? What did they use? תולעת השני, the worm, the little worm.
One worm with a many worms.
I'm sure that there was more than one. But Hazal say if that's the case, how can you transport that worm? Because it have a radiation. For us to understand, Rabotai, when we go to the dentist, and you'll ask every dentist, when we take an X-ray in our mouth, he put on us a breastplate with a lead inside, nachon? And he go outside and he take the X-ray. You think that it's a new invention? No. Because Hazal asked, how did they used to transport the Tola'at Hashani? What did Hazal say? In a box that made from lead, and inside they used to put gizet shemer. That means that they used to put kind of a wool, that wool used to protect the Tola'at Hashani not to get hurt. Why dafka lead? Because the laser, the radiation of that can't penetrate through the lead. So Hazal tell us that how many years back? Now this is not scientists, this is not studies, this is the Torah tell us. So now we have to understand. We see from what Hazal tell us that there is kind of a power in our vision. Let's summarize what we say. We're saying that we have, if we look at things negatively, Haz v'shalom, things work negatively. If we explore our mind on negative, the Torah forbidden us that. Now you're all going to ask where I'm trying to get to. You know, there is many houses, if not millions, that are read. They say millions. I don't know if it's true. You know, in Germany, many Germans took the TV out of their house. Now the Germans, they're not Orthodox Jews. You know why they took the TV? They interview most of them very learned people, very highly educated, most of them. You know why they took the TV? The most common thing was violent. The second thing, immorality. Violent immorality. After that come all of those horror movies that there is. Where is it leading us? So the studies show that at least 1 million people in Germany took TV out of their house. Why? Because they don't want their kids to explore this kind of thing. Now let's stop for 1 second. And let's try to understand what the Torah tells us. The Torah tells us not to explore, and then not to look at the field, Hazal tells us, of our friend, when it's ready, when it's fully grown. Not to cause ayn hara, the evil eye. But Hazal knew already, and the Torah tells us not to explore, you know why? Immorality, and we see today. The violence in the world today, it's beyond understanding. And you know why is it, Menachem? I'll tell you why. Remember when we was kids, we used to watch those cowboy movies? They used to shoot from far and you see the man falling off his horse. Today they found that it's boring, it's not exciting enough. So you know what those writers do? Producer, whatever you want to call them. They make it more vicious. That you see it properly, how they chop the head, how they stab a person. If you don't see blood, it's not good enough. I'm not allowed to talk about it in shul, but you'll excuse me. Remember in the olden days, if you see a person hugging a woman or kissing a woman, oh ho! Today it's nothing. Why? To excite us more. Because they found out that it's not enough. A hug, to hold hand, it's not enough. So what they show us? Immorality. So Hazal knew about it. They come and tell us, watch your eyes. Hazal knew where it's going to lead if we're not going to have a control over our eyes. Because the power that we have in a vision start working on a heart. Ha'ain ro'ah, the eyes you see. Ve'alev homed. The heart want to covet, want more. So where does it all start? From the vision. Sliha? Wait, I didn't get to it. Now I'm going to get to the black box. So, עין רואה, בכבוד, שב פה לידי, שב פה, שנראה אותך. So, עין רואה. Where does it start? All from the vision. I see my friend having a nice car. I become jealous. Why does he have and I don't have? And on and on and on. I don't want to talk about how many men have a wonderful wife, destroyed their houses. Why? Because they follow their eyes. And after they follow the eyes, looking at women, the desires start working. And that's why the Torah tells us, Velo taturu אחרי עיניכם. Taturu milshon tayar. Remember, don't be like a tourist that explore. When it's come to women, we're not allowed to explore them. And I want to ask you a personal question, and I want you to be honest. When we go to an interview, and there is a woman interview us, or you stand on a queue, and a person look at you, and you feel like that he's exploring you. How do you feel? How uncomfortable you feel? So imagine the opposite. When a man exploring a woman, how she feels. Never mind what it's due to the mind. We're going to get to remedy how to sort up those. Hazal given us answer to everything. But we have to understand that it makes no difference if she's married or she's not married. We're not allowed to explore. And again, I'm saying, if someone comes to you and speak to you, don't look at her like this. That's not derech eretz. You have to look at people. But don't explore. Don't let the black box start working extra time. And we all know, because we're all men here, how is our black box work? And not for nothing, the Torah tells us we should not explore. The Torah doesn't say don't look. The Torah says don't explore. Velo taturu, milshon tayar. That means don't be like a tourist, exploring things. But unfortunately, we're all human beings. We all have the evil inclination, the Yetzer Hara. We all do look sometimes. We all do explore at certain things. We all saw things that we shouldn't see. Horror movie, violent movie. We all have those memories. How do we clean them? Hazal given us a beautiful remedy, and a very simple remedy. You know what is it? To clear up all of those memories that you have in your mind. But you know what? I'll tell you a story. Before I'm going to come to the remedy. To understand how much power we have in our vision, and we don't understand that we have power. 7 to 10 years ago was a bad accident in Israel. I don't know if Moti remember. And everyone spoke about it. It was a truck that hit the car. Listen to that. And he hit the car and he killed a member of that was sitting in the car. But one person actually survived it. And he healed. Sorry?
I think it was a baby.
No, it was an adult. And that, the guy that drove the truck ran away. It was hit and run. They searched for that man, they couldn't find it. I think it was 5 years ago. I'm not remember exactly how many years ago. It was a very big thing. I think it was an assault, if I'm not forgetting. And they couldn't find him. He hit and ran. When that man healed from that accident, Rabotai, come join us here. No, it's better, come, please. It's easier when I look at you. Hazal tell us, they couldn't find him. You know what they done? When that man healed, the police couldn't sit still. They allowed them to be hypnotized. And now I'm going to go to hypnosis. And we spoke about it. You remember what you told me, that they didn't find a man that came out of it, that they put him in the past? You actually was right, Menachem. But some people, not that they stuck in the past, they battled to bring him back. It was my mistake, just for that. I remember that you asked me, I listened to that, and I read it again. They battled to bring him back to the time. There's a battle with that. No one's stuck in the past. You are actually right. So what I'm saying is, they put it underneath hypnosis. And they said to him, the hypnotizer put him unaware, I don't know how they do it, but he said to him, now focus what's happened in that time. He said to him, do you see the color of the truck? He said, yes. He said, focus on the number plate. Please tell me the number plate. And he did tell them the number plate. They found the guy, and in the end he admitted that he done. They found the guy that drove the truck, and he admitted it, that he done that. That means what we see in our eyes, for a split of a second, we think that we forgot. But in a memory, it stays in a memory. And if you ask Meish, my wife lost once all her stuff. You remember Meish, and you help us with the computer. How did he manage to dig down? I don't know. But there is memory. How much so a human being memory? So what we see, we never forget. The vision that we see, it looks to us like we forgot. But it's deep inside in a memory. So how do we clear them? Now we come to the remedy. Hazal tell us there is a very simple remedy to it. When you want to sterilize something, if something is infected, what do you put? Sterilize. You put something wrong, you want to clear up your brain from all of those memories that you have, from all of those visions that you see. You know what the best thing Hazal said? Torah. When you bring Torah into your brain, that Torah is the best sterilizing thing. The best thing to purify all those memories that you have. Even that you don't remember, or you think that you don't remember, the Torah is the best disinfective thing that there is. So Hazal tell us, if you've done it already, there is also a remedy. Study Torah, and slowly, the Torah that you bring in will push out all the negativity. So now we understand that there is power in our vision. We have to be careful, especially now, before we come into Yamim Noraim, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. We have to be careful, Rabotai. How and where we're looking. Not to explore, not to be jealous. HaKadosh Baruch Hu given it to him. What difference does it make to you? Did he take from your pocket? If HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to give you to be a multimillionaire, think it's difficult for you? What difference does it make? He didn't take from you. So why are you jealous? Why are we not jealous from the Gedolim in Israel? We get jealous if he have few bobs more, few bobs less. He have a better account. What difference does it make to us? HaKadosh Baruch Hu know what he's doing. If he didn't give it to us, we not deserve it. Pashut, simple. Rabotai, we must understand that. So when we see a person that have more than us, Look at it with the good eyes. Gesund. May you have more. And when you think positively, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, see that you look at the thing positively, He will bring the prosperity on you. Not to look at negative, that's number one. Number two, not to explore. Make no difference if the wife's married, not married, the woman married, not married. What are you exploring? What are you bringing forth? And then the heart desire. And then Chas v'Shalom, people can make averot, like we mentioned, that the Gemara said Masechet Nedarim. The next part that we have to be careful is, what are we looking at? Are we looking at the news, or are we looking at violence? Okay. But you know what I'm talking about. Are we looking at violence? And when people become violent, you see the amount of violence that there is in the world. Never was before like this. You hoot in the street. You're frightened that if you hoot that guy, he might going to pull the gun and shoot on you. No. Where is all of this come? All of those ideas. The power of the vision. And Be'ezrat Hashem, if we take those little points and we put it in our mind to try to refer from looking at things that we're forbidden to look, try to explore differently, try to look at things in positive, not to look at things that we're not allowed to look. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we can start entering Chodesh Elul with a positive thing, with a positive mind, with a clear mind, with a clear head. How much happiness we're going to do in heaven. And then, if all of us will take on ourselves those little things that sounds to us little, but the big thing, how much happiness we can achieve at home. How much happiness we can achieve at home, Rabotai, that's the major thing. When a man doesn't explore at other women, and he thinks that his wife is the only queen, what there is better than that? But if a man explore, and he say, listen, look at what I have at home, so he come home, and he never fulfill. He's always hungry. As Chas v'Shalom to think like that. If we stop those exploring, and not for nothing, the Torah tells us, Velo taturu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when He wrote the Torah, He knew, because He created us. He knows how we're thinking. And if we take those little things on ourselves, Be'ezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see that we're changing. You're going to bring, and you're going to send us the Mashiach speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon.